that you feel satisfied with everything that has been done or hasn't been done, or just have enjoyed this weekend. That's the most important. So I wanted to talk to you about the fact that to challenge yourself from being in your comfort zone, to challenge yourself to do something different and to do something that is uncomfortable, because this actually helps you to see things in a new way, to challenge your fears, to challenge your mind from things that maybe are not as scary as you might think that it is. Because the whole thing about going outside your comfort zone, it's about actually partly letting go of things that are not true, but also to grow as a person. Because often the things that, if we want something that it's that we have tried to get, sometimes we have to get it in a way that is not comfortable to us, because we have to get outside our comfort zone. So that's the whole idea, to to try to challenge ourselves, to challenge our mind to go outside. So for those who don't know me, let's start there. My name is Liana, and I'm here to inspire you and motivate you. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because I have done this myself. I work with that. I have done it. I'm still doing it, and I know how much courage it takes. I know how much I also get by doing this, by doing things that are challenging for me, but doing things that are scary for me. So just to tell you a little short stories about things that I actually have done that have made me come out of my comfort zone. So just like doing this is actually something that I never had imagined be doing, like for 2-3 years ago. Because for me that was, it's a big deal. Just speak to a camera and see what people think, especially English actually being my third language. But I think that the reason why I do my videos in 3 different languages is because I want to reach out to people as much as possible. And most of the people understand English. That's the best way to go, right? I also do my videos in Spanish and in Swedish because I also want to speak in native languages, because that also speaks to you in another way. But anyway, so when I was little, I wasn't that shy. I was actually very, open and talk to everyone and like that. Then we started moving a lot. Not only moving in the same continent, but I actually moved from one continent to a whole other continent. From Colombia, I actually moved to the US for a little while, went to school there in English. My English wasn't that good. Moved to Sweden, started school in Swedish, whole new language, then moved back to South America and went to international schools and so on. And this whole process actually made me more and more shy. It made me more insecure in myself because I didn't have one language that I was very comfortable in. So when I came back to Sweden many years later, I have felt that I have been very shy and very withdrawn, and I love being around people, but I was very shy still, and I can be that way even today. So even if there are many people that think that I'm an extrovert, I'm not always that way. It depends on the people that I'm surrounded with. It depends on what I'm doing. So it's you can't say that a person is just one way. For me, it you can really see the difference be- between who am I with and what am I doing. So one of the things that made me come out my comfort zone, which I didn't think it would do, was when I became a Zumba instructor. And I know I have talked about this before, but for me, dancing is natural. For me, it has been something I've always done. But when I became an instructor, I didn't realize until the day I was actually gonna do my first dancing class that I was so nervous and so blocked out. And it was that way the first time and the second time. And then, I started to be more relaxed. I started to, if it's not the way I thought it should be from the first time, it doesn't matter. Just keep going and it will sort itself out. Um, so that was the one occasion that actually I came out a comfort zone of not being totally secure in myself and having to go from a very insecure place to move myself and actually love doing it. I mean, I love dancing, I love this whole thing, but the process, it was actually much harder than I even imagined. So it was great for me to have the support of my husband that helped me and pushed me and said, "You love this, come on, don't give up too early." So not always going outside your comfort zone, sometimes it takes time. And sometimes you have to have someone there to pull you down and tell you it's okay, just keep doing it. Or tell yourself that. So that was one thing about for me to go outside my comfort zone, to meet new people, to be in front and talk a little bit because it's usually dancing, but to talk and it was hard for me at the beginning, but I love it. I do love it now. So I'm so thankful that I got out of that and I didn't, because I after the first or second time I could have said, no, this is not for me, I'm not doing it. But because I actually had the support of my husband that it said, Liana, keep going because I know this is something you would love. You love that kind of thing. So it was great that I actually had someone to push me even farther. And it's great to find someone that can do that. So if it's either someone that you have nearby or if you wanted my help to push you to go farther, that's why I'm here. So something else that was really hard for me was when I started with the products that I work with. So it's aloe vera products, and at the beginning was when we were at this golf course, right? And all these new people, and I was so scared and it was so uncomfortable. And even if I had my really sweet coach there, my other hand, um, of course it was better to do it with her because she was there if someone had a question that I couldn't answer. But that was also pushing myself. I was doing it. I was there and I did it and I did it another time and I did it a second time and I to meet all these people and I loved it. And just to let go of the fear of whatever it is that we have in our mind, and to actually notice that the fear is often not even, I mean, it's not often as bad as you even think it is. Yes, the fear is there because it's something that you have in your mind, but when you have done it, it's like that wasn't so bad, right? you know um and something else that I did was that I had worked at where I worked before for 11 years almost. And I said, I quit. I quit just to do my thing, to be the instructor, the Zumba strong instructor. And I said, I'm doing this. And it was also hard. It was also challenging because, it was like, okay, let's see how this works. And, because I had been an instructor for several years, But no, I said that no, I have to step back and see how I can handle doing that, only that. And it was also challenging to have that, to take that step, to feel that okay, I'm gonna try something very different because I'm stepping out of this comfort of having this income that came every month, and now the only income was from my hobby business that I had on the side. uh, but it was also wonderful because I got to know so many people. I have grown so much during that time that I actually did that and only that. Um, and and after a while, I felt like no, I shouldn't be only doing this. I actually need another work on the side. And it wasn't that bad. It was just to get another work, right? And see what happened. Because I said, okay, no, but I can take a simple work for 50, where I work 50-70% or something. And then I found this word that was 100%. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try that. I send and see what happens, because I'm a true believer in things happen for a reason. I am. um So I thought this is probably the best way to just go on and see what happens. So I those are different things that I have in done the recent years, just to show you that I have gone out my comfort zone, and I have I have had spas. I have come to people's houses to have spas for for her and her friends, or her and her family, to different women that I didn't really know, just to let them have a moment to be themselves, to talk about being healthy, to talk about taking care of yourself, no matter how old you are. That was also very scary, to come to someone that you didn't even know, and to be the best version of myself, and to give them as much as possible during these hours that we had together. And it was wonderful to share that. There were so many laughters and so many smiles, and it was so relaxed, and I loved it. But if I hadn't stepped out of that comfort zone that I was in, that is like, oh, it's scary, I don't know what to do, just go with it, just go with the flow, and it will work itself out. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? And that's actually the thing that I don't know if you are that kind of person that likes to write notes and list the pros and cons, you know. Um, because it does, even if you do those lists, you don't know until you actually do it and try it. And maybe, just maybe, you have to have that person that pushes you to do it a bit more, do it a bit more, and then see if it really is that bad or not. Because sometimes it's just about um not being really secure in yourself, that actually makes the things worse. Or not being sometimes you have to be more prepared for something to actually take the step. But we can't always be waiting to be more prepared, because that can actually just lead nowhere, because you can always be more prepared on something. You can always be better on something before you actually go out there and do it. So I think it's the best way that you actually, you know just take a leap of faith and do it and see what happens. And this comfort zone doesn't serve us. The comfort zone is not there to make us grow. It's not there to make us bigger. It's not there to make us achieve what we really, really want to achieve. That it's a bit harder to get, and then you really can't, the comfort zone is going to stop you a long, long way before you even try to get there. So I challenge you to get out of your comfort zone, to do things that feel scary, because like I said, it's not always that scary when you have done it. And sometimes it's because you're not secure enough in yourself. But once you do it, it really feels so good. It lifts you up. And I'm really talking from my heart because like I said, and I already said some examples, I have done this. And I have done other things that have made me come outside my comfort zone. And I still have things that I have to do to get even farther from my comfort zone, which I'm actually working at right now. But I challenge you to get out of your comfort zone, to do something that feels scary, but you will notice that once you're done, it wasn't that scary or it wasn't that bad. And maybe the feeling inside it's even better. But try to have someone, if you can't push yourself enough, try to find someone around you, close to you, that can help you with that. Or tell me, and I will be pushing you, because the best way is to have someone there to tell you that it's gonna be okay. What's the worst thing that can happen? So, you guys, like I said, I'm challenging you to do something that is outside your comfort zone, that it's scary, but you won't die. Do something that, it feels so, it doesn't feel good in the stomach because you're so nervous. Because being nervous also shows that, okay, this. That's how I think sometimes, that when I feel in my stomach that I'm so nervous that I'm a bit sick, then it's like, okay, this is actually the step that I have to do because it feels so scary. So that's really outside my comfort zone. It's really time for me to grow. So if you see it that way, it might help you. I don't know. I know, it helps me at least to feel how it feels in my body. And when you feel that it's scary, when it feels scary, that okay, I had to get this, because it's different having that gut feeling that this is not okay, and having the gut feeling, or not the gut feeling, but the feeling of being nervous. For me, those are two different things. So, you guys, I challenge you, and if you want to tell me, please do. If you need someone to be there to push you, to challenge you even more, I'm here for you as well. And I wish you a great end of this weekend, or of this week, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.